Hey, Adrienne Lynch here with the Lynch team at Conway Real Estate, and I have Kerri and Ronquist with Options for Seniors. Welcome.
Hi.
So today I wanted to talk about, as we've all been home and talking with our loved ones, we're realizing, some of our loved ones, probably this is a time where it's time for them to move to an assisted living facility, or time to start thinking about them moving to an assisted living facility. And I know people get overwhelmed with the cost and how it all works and how they'll manage that. So what should families be doing during this time that we are all kind of at home and have time to process what the next steps should be for their future?
Yes. And actually having the time is going to be hugely beneficial, because normally when we're not in these circumstances, that's the holdup in getting the resources that we need, like VA and ALTCS, because people are just slammed with their everyday life and maybe forgetting documents or doing the things that they're doing. So a lot of people are calling and saying, okay, now that it's been 2-3 weeks of taking care and assisting my senior loved one, I see and they see that they would be living their best life by moving into a senior living community and getting that assistance. And so what can we be doing so that when we're in a position where a move can be made, that we are prepared? So when I do assessments with my clients, I do assessments in all different ways. So that's going to be medical, it's going to be environmental, a whole who they are as people. The biggest thing, no matter what, just like with anything in our world, is the finances. And so digging in to see, are they a veteran, or are they a spouse of a veteran? And then we can tap into the VA aid and attendance benefit. Or the majority of my clients don't have unlimited resources. I maybe had one or two that really, honestly, the resources were not an issue, and they could private pay all the way through the end of life and still have money to leave to their kids and grandkids and all that. But the majority of people are not in that place. And so what we look at then is, along with the VA, is we look at ALTCS planning. And ALTCS is Arizona Long Term Care System, which is Arizona's Medicaid program. The Medicaid program is different than Medicare. A lot of people get that confused. Medicare is not going to pay for a senior living environment. That is just completely healthcare. And so we look at Medicaid planning, and we look at the sustainability of their finances so they're not having to continue to move around. One of the biggest fallacies that people tell me that they hear is that you have to be broke to go on Medicaid, and that is absolutely not the truth. We have laws in place that allow for some asset protection, and you have to work with the right people to be able to do these kinds of cases, especially my veterans, that we look at a model of private pay, incorporating VA and the aid and attendance pension into that, and then rolling, when and if appropriate, into ALTCS as a payer source. And VA and ALTCS, where they have similarities, if you have somebody that has no idea what they're doing or is trying to do it separately, they can actually work against each other when we're looking at planning. So I'm really happy that through ACA and my relationships, I have a fantastic resource partner like yourself, but this gentleman is a fiduciary. He is a VA accredited agent. He is a veteran himself. He is a life care planner. He is a Medicaid planner. He's been doing this for a bunch of years and has helped, I can't even say how many of my families in this exact model. So right now is the time to do that, to contact, to start working on that baseline, because there's nothing better for me and for my clients when I know that we're looking at options and we already know the entire process from beginning to end, and we feel very confident in knowing that this is financially sustainable. Now we're just looking at what apartment is best, what resident base is best, what community fits them best. So now is the time to do that.
And I think you bring up a good point, because a question I would have is, a lot of people think they can do all this online or do it themselves. And you mentioned, having a resource partner, because there's a lot of different steps if they're trying to make sure that they can use multiple benefits to get into an assisted living and help them financially. So why is it important that they hire someone, or, versus trying to do this themselves?
It's huge. I mean, like I've said in other videos, it doesn't cost them a thing to have me assist them. And so when it comes to that, is that I'm digging in with them. I am looking at all the resources, bringing those appropriate resources to them so that they have the correct tribe of people that are professionals in the industry, in the specific needs that they have, working alongside of them, so we all work in collaboration for a common goal. I have had way too many people be referred to me that have had, you know, somebody that is not appropriate to apply for ALTCS, not realizing that you have to apply for VA before you apply for ALTCS, or maybe they have money in their, there's just a whole bunch of stuff. The same thing with with what you do. You know, people will go, I have to sell my house, or I don't have money to move into a community, and they start that process realizing that a house is an exempt asset in many ways.
Right.
And yes, it may be appropriate in the future, and you're going to walk them through that whole process, but it's all about timing and having the correct people in place. And I tell people I know enough to be dangerous about a lot of things, but I have to do my due diligence and honor my families in the way that I would want someone to honor me. Is I'm going to take them to a certain point. But then when it gets to the point where it is out of my expertise area, then I'm going to move them to the people that do this every day. So really, truly, it's about a collaboration. And when you look online, or when people tell you pieces of information and you try to do it yourself, then you get what you get. I mean, you really, unfortunately, those are the cases that I get that are big messes that we have to unravel. And it's just unnecessary stressors on the family.
No, I think that's all great advice. And people do think they can do so many things on their own, but there are things when it comes to our long-term care and financially making sure our loved ones are taken care of, that they definitely need that specialist. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you coming on and talking about that. I will put your information below so they can reach out to you, and if they have questions. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.